Hello, it's me Sangam Silwal, and this presentation will be my proposal to commit Danone to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal to Zero Hunger. This presentation is directed to demonstrate how Danone, being a food production giant in the world, can contribute more to fight against hunger, particularly in the context of the current humanitarian disaster occasioned by wars and economic issues. And here you can see my first slides of student name, P number, module, tutor, and this date. And let's move on to the slide 2. Danone is a French multinational company which was established in 1919 and it has operations in more than 120 countries. Its major product sections are dairy, plant-based foods, bottled water, and early life and medical nutrition. The mission statement of Danone is to bring food to as many people as possible with the view of bringing them health and wealth. The environmental objectives that the company already targets include carbon neutrality, regenerative agriculture, and circular packaging. And this is all the company overview of Danone. And let's move on to the slide 3, which is UN Sustainable Development Goals. In 2015, the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals was put in the place as a universal agenda to eradicate poverty, safeguard the earth, and achieve prosperity by 2030. The number of goals is 17, and every goal is focused on the such problems as health, gender equality, clean water, and climate action. Significantly, SDG2 Zero Hunger is both to eliminate hunger and food security and sustainable agriculture. It is especially topical nowadays as millions of people are food insecure because of the war and inflation. Um, in the case of companies such as Danone, which operates in the nutrition and food sector, it is not only morally right to commit to SDG2, but it is also advantageous to the business strategy of Danone. It has the capacity to boost the corporate image of Danone, satisfy its stakeholders, and align itself perfectly with its corporate philosophy, one planet, one health. And let's move on to the slide 4, which is why Danone should focus on the SDG2, which is zero hunger. Danone should focus on the SDG2 as hunger is an emergency the world has to deal with once again. Constant conflict in some areas like Ukraine, Gaza, and Sudan have already greatly disturbed the food chains in the world as millions of people do not have access to basic foods and also the livelihood. The United Nations estimates that approximately 735 million individuals around the world are becoming hungry day by day, and the figure continues to grow as a result of climatic change and political unrest. Danone, as a food company and with a mission statement of bringing health through the food, has a moral responsibility to act and has a strategic opportunity to act. Sorry. Through SDG2, Danone will be able to empower its brand purpose, increase stakeholder confidence, and tap into new markets with spiritual leaders in the favor of ethical and sustainable leadership. In the outline, Danone could do very well doing good by focusing on SDG2, transform its sustainability vision into a significant global contribution. And let's move on to the slide 5, which is recommendation for the Danone. Uh, the partnership program that I would advise Danone to establish is a global food donation program. I am referring to this as the Danone Zero Hunger Fund. The proposal is the partner with large-scale NGOs such as World Food Program, UNICEF, and uh, and the local food banks to repackage, access Danone products including yogurt, milk, bottled water, and redistribute them to regions of the hunger or food shortages, uh, like where there is wars and like people who are needy. The fund may also be used to offer emergency nutrition aid during crisis periods such as in the war zones or neutral calamities, natural calamities, where the level of food insecurity goes extremely high. The benefits are twofold. To begin with, it is decrease food waste, which will help Danone to achieve its environmental objectives. Secondly, it gives more power to social trust and corporate image, where consumers demand more and more brands to give assistance to those in need. Danone would be able to gauge achievements in terms of meals served, tons of food saved as waste, and new partnerships formed. One of the best examples to look in this context is that the Billie Eilish, who gave some of her concert earnings to the food charity. Similarly, Danone will be able to do a significant social contribution with its international scale that is well beyond corporate responsibility. And let's move on to the recommendation 2, which is support small farmers in conflict zones. My second suggestion is known as Farm to Future by Danone. This would provide an interactive to empowering smallholder farmers, particularly in the war-torn or climatically stricken countries, through the use of microloans, training, as well as access to sustainable agriculture sources. Due to ongoing conflicts, many small farmers in Africa, in the Middle East, and in some parts of Asia have lost access to tools, seeds, and stable markets. Mm, Danone can intervene to assist them in restoring their level by exchanging information on regenerative farming, soil health, and decreased resistant crop varieties. This solution helps both parties. Farmers can be economically independent and have food security, and Danone can have a stable and sustainable supply chain of its raw materials such as milk or vegetable products. It also aligns with the missions of global human and planetary health of Danone. The way to measure the success can be determined by the number of farmers trained, the increase in the productivity, and improvement in the incomes as a result of the training. This is more charity. This is a long-term investment in the people and sustainability, as it will help to ensure that hunger does not happen again in the vulnerable areas. And let's move on to the recommendation 3, which is my slide 7. The third suggestion is that Danone should come up with affordable food, feed, nutrition production to low-income society, children, and pregnant women in particular areas. Danone already enjoys experience in the manufacturing of infant formula and medical nutrition, so it can transfer its experience to develop inexpensive and nutritious products such as food-filled yogurt, milk powders, or baby foods. These products might be sold at extremely low cost or be given out in collaboration with local governments, UNICEF, and the World Health Organizations in the regions with high levels of malnutrition, and also to the different areas of Asian countries. Such a recommendation not only assists in combating hunger but also contributes to SDG3 good health and well-being, since access to the necessary nutrients is provided. In terms of business, it is also creates new emerging markets and strengthens the images of propulsion driver company Danone, as it will help Danone to become more success in their business life. The measurement of impact can be done by counting the number of children reached nutrition benefits in the target areas and community responses. And let's move on to the slide 8, which is the conclusion of all of my presentation. In conclusion, Hungary is one of the most hunger is one of the most pressure issues of the current time, the constant war, financial turmoil, as well as the weather catastrophes have caused millions of families to scramble just to get their basic foods, basic livelihood, and easier life. Danone, being a world leader in nutrition, has the means to evolve and the obligation to effect a real difference. Its purpose, which is to bring health through the food as many people as possible, is obviously in line with SDG2 Zero Hunger. The three recommendations suggested can help to give the following point, namely by adopting recommendation proposed by us. First, first one is the establishment of the Global Food Donation Partnership, and second, assisting small farmers with farm to future. Third, developing low cost for field nutrition foods, and Danone is in a position to transform its mission into a reality of global impact. And these are not the main charity actions, but strategic investment that the enhance brands trust, supply resilience, and new social markets. They also demonstrate to the shareholders and consumers of Danone that it has a business model that is rooted in sustainability. And lastly, by becoming a signatory to SDG2, Danone would be positioned as a force beyond a food company but a social change agent, assisting in creating a world where no one goes to bed hungry and no one is denied the opportunity to lead a healthy life. And thank you for watching my presentations, and here are these differences support my presentation and follow the Hubbard referencing style as required by DMU, and